What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Today is a good day, but it's also a little bit of a sad day as we jump into Captain Marvel issue number 50. First, let's give a big shout out 50 issues of Captain Marvel. There have been so many good story arcs coming out of this series. My personal favorite was the storyline of 2052, where Captain Marvel straight up restarted the freaking sun. But the reason that today is sad is because Kelly Thompson is no longer gonna be writing Captain Marvel. This series is coming to an end, and with that, Kelly Thompson is moving on to bigger and better things. And I would love to be selfish. I would love to sit here and just say that Kelly Thompson can keep writing Captain Marvel forever. It does give me a little bit concern on who might be taking over later on, because whoever takes over, they have some very big shoes to fill. Kelly Thompson has been able to write Captain Marvel in such a great and fantastic manner. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. And so now we dive into the final issue of Kelly Thompson's run of Captain Marvel. Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up in New York City, a small church where people are gathering talking about people that they have lost. This is kind of like a survivor's guilt meeting. Captain Marvel has come here because ever since Binary has passed away, Captain Marvel has had a really hard time dealing with all of this. Not being able to stick around, we see her fly off. Going right through the roof, she heads off to the moon, and thinking to herself that this is what Agatha and the witches had been talking about. What we saw in Captain Marvel Trials, that someone like her, someone with her problems probably shouldn't have this amount of power. That ultimately, she is a liability, because in her grief of Binary, she had almost killed her friends and created a black hole to devour all of existence, or at least some of it. And now she must question, were the witches right? Am I too powerful with all of my problems and all of my emotions to be able to wield this power? As she takes off to New Hala, the burial grounds of Binary. She comes here much more often than she would like to admit. She thought that coming to the grave might be able to help her, that it could be healthy, maybe even therapeutic. But at this point, it's really not helping her. As she sits here and she cries over the grave, this is when her sister Lori comes into play, teleporting in. Jess and the others had said that she might need a little bit of help. Right now, Captain Marvel is at one of the lowest points she has ever been. She's really not sure if she's able to overcome this grief. But Lori is here to really kind of help her out, saying that everything that they have tried so far hasn't helped Captain Marvel out. And so Lori has an idea. Why don't we go out and try to punch some things? Right now, there is a planet that is in need of assistance. They are outnumbered, they are outgunned. They are trying to take back their planet from an invading force, expecting to be a large amount of violence. With Carol agreeing, they teleport directly onto the battlefield. They jump right into the thick of it. And Carol must admit that all of this fighting, it does help a little bit, but it only helps for a little while. The truth is, you can't punch forever, and eventually, you will go back into your grief, that the battle will be over. And those feelings of sadness, they will still be there. As we hop back over to New York City, we have Hazmat, Spider-Woman, She-Hulk, Jessica Jones, and Photon. All the ladies are here because they are getting ready to throw a party for Captain Marvel. At this point, they've tried everything to help her out and they're running out of options. They're not sure what to do or how to help her. So maybe throwing a fancy surprise party might do the trick. As they clear out the apartment and get it party ready, we pick up several hours later, and everybody is here. From Polaris to Rogue to Tony Stark to Jeff the Land Shark. As everybody enjoys this party, everybody's talking, having a good time, drinking, listening to music, we see that Carol is up in the shadows, away from the party. This is where Tony Stark comes into play. Now, Tony comes in suave. He comes in trying to work his charm, cracking the jokes like Tony Stark is known to do. But none of this is working on Carol. She's just really not in the mood for joking. And while they talk about binary just for a moment, Carol changes the subject to hazmat, going on to say that she's not necessarily ready for the Avengers just yet, but Carol and Tony, they're pretty impressed by her. She's reliable, she's smart, she's creative, extremely compassionate. But really, Carol thinks that they need to do better for the young heroes, that they need to really start building them up, because when the time comes and they need to truly step up, they need to be prepared for it. And while Carol isn't volunteering for anything, she's really just planting the seed, the idea that we have to be doing something for all of these younger heroes. As she takes off and heads up to the rooftop, her and Hazmat have a little bit of a conversation. They talk about Tony, they talk about Hazmat and Rogue having a conversation when they were out in space. And Carol thinks that if Hazmat can find a mentor in Rogue, that it might be one of the best things for her. The two of them are so much alike, and Rogue is turned into one hell of a hero. With their conversation coming to an end, we have Rhodey coming in. He has come up to the rooftop to take Carol back down to the party. We see that the relationship is still holding on strong. The two of them embrace, they kiss, and he drags her back down to the party. But he's not here to stay. He was doing this because Jess had asked him to. But with Spider-Woman fully suited up, they open up a portal and the two of them head out. Landing in an alleyway, this is where we have Doctor Strange. He was the one that opened up this portal. Now at this point, Spider-Woman has tried so many things to help out Captain Marvel, and none of them are working. But they only need Doctor Strange to open up a portal so that they can go to the bar, because in that bar there is a doorway. Now this doorway Captain Marvel is very familiar with. During the trials of Captain Marvel, when Agatha and the other witches ran all of these trials, Captain Marvel had gone into this place. Not sure if this is going to work, not even sure if this is going to help. Spider-Woman lets her know that this is really our only option at this point. Jess is running out of things to try and help her out, thinking that maybe this could help. If it doesn't, then we're right back in the same situation we currently are. And so pushing her through the doorway, we see Captain Marvel going into the whiteness. In this place, she runs into the Scarlet Witch. This is where the two of them have a conversation. But Scarlet Witch is here right now because Carol is afraid of becoming the Scarlet Witch. She's afraid of doing what the Scarlet Witch has done. But Wanda goes on to tell her that you are so much more than Captain Marvel these days. You evolved beyond that so long ago. You are someone who restarted a freaking sun, defeated some of her best friends, defeated some of the most powerful people in the universe, brutally in combat, who wielded the universal weapon, who created a living being from her own energy. So it doesn't take a genius to see that she is punching towards something. And while Captain Marvel may not know what that is yet, Wanda suspects that this is what Carol is afraid of. And while others might be scared of this power, Wanda is not. She knows Carol Danvers. She knows her heart. She knows her soul. Carol will fight for them even when all else is lost. She will die fighting if necessary. And so as she comes out of this room, we see that Carol is doing much better. Not necessarily that this just fixed her instantly, but it definitely helped her out. And so as we pick back up in New York City, the church that she had flown out in the beginning with a giant gaping hole in the top, she does a lot of damage. Most of the time she doesn't stick around to fix what she breaks, but now she's gonna try to work on that. She may have been an Avenger, a boss of space, higher, further, faster, all of that sounds cool, but it's all the window dressing of what she is supposed to be, of what she is supposed to do. And so now, she is going to get started on being exactly who she was meant to be. And that will be the end of this series. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, this isn't some crazy, fantastic, just page-turning issue. Really what it is passing the torch. It's closing out the Captain Marvel story that Kelly Thompson has been writing. It's putting the cap on the pen. It's making way for whoever is to take over. It's giving them the opportunity to write whatever kind of story they would like to write with Captain Marvel. Probably not my most favorite issue of Captain Marvel, but definitely a satisfying ending to the Kelly Thompson run. I'm definitely bummed out to see that Kelly Thompson is leaving Captain Marvel. Now, on the horizon, we do have Captain Marvel Dark Tempest. That is coming out next month, and it does look to be pretty promising. The artwork alone has me sold, at least the cover art. You guys know that I'm a sucker for amazing cover art. I will easily, quickly buy a comic if the artwork on the cover just blows my mind. In fact, I usually don't order physical copies because I buy everything digital, and buying both would just be way too much money. But I do make exceptions, and Captain Marvel Dark Tempest I do have pre-ordered in my pool box. But I have been covering Captain Marvel since the very inception of this channel. It was one of the first comics that we really started heavily covering, going all the way back to Marvel's Empire event. And so for me, today is a big day. I love Captain Marvel so freaking much, and Kelly Thompson has brought so much to this character. Because of that, I am going to be hugely skeptical and probably overcritical on whoever takes over next. I just hope that they are half as talented as Kelly Thompson. I hope that they can bring the same kind of ferocity, the same kind of talent, the same type of capability that Kelly has brought to this comic. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this channel. It will get you completely caught up on everything that happened with Captain Marvel with the Kelly Thompson run. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.